I think his voice is not audible.
Yeah, just a minute, sir. I have not yet
Uh, uh,
started.
okay, okay, okay.
वीडियो है, वीडियो का देखो यहाँ से आएगा। हाँ वीडियो डाला हुआ है ना, ठीक है वो आ जाएगा। साउंड जो नहीं आती है उसको आ जाएगा। चल तो साइड कर दो इसको थोड़ा साइड कर दो। नीचे देखेगा मैं ना, नहीं हटा क्यों नहीं उसको। चलिए, yeah, good morning to all. I am am I audible?
Hi, yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Good morning to all. And first of all, I am highly privileged and overwhelmed to share my thoughts about the topics in front of numerous August presents. Of course, it is virtual, not actual, but I think now virtual is actual. So I'm giving personal thanks to Agarwal sir, who has invited me to share my thoughts amongst such a August gathering. And as far as my topic is concerned, I think I have chosen based on the scenario because due to such a pandemic which we have never heard about, and in this way we have started thinking about our environment as well. We have seen a lot of videos where we even day before yesterday only we have seen the big and clear cut rainbows visible in Noida, and some of the photographs which we have, I think, received through different social media, that even peak of Himalayas can be seen from the Punjab and northern and eastern part of the country. So we are thinking about the environment, but as a learned citizen of India, we have to do something. I think we have to go beyond the thinking. We have to do something at our best level. In whichever capacity we are, we have to do something to save our environment and for save our earth for the coming generations. Since I belongs to cement manufacturing industry, so directly or indirectly I involved to construction fraternity. So my topic is somehow related to how construction industry can be helpful to curb the uh, CO2 emission and the less use of natural resources, and ultimately reduce the emission level of CO2 gas and reduce the pollution level. So my topic is recycling of construction and demolition waste. It is conversion of waste to wealth. So now just I am starting. The construction and demolition waste. The definition is basic simple. Waste building materials, dredging materials that are produced in the process of construction, remodeling, repair or demolition of residential buildings, commercial buildings and other structure and pavements. We are generating C&D waste out of these. More than 50% waste generated worldwide is construction and demolition waste. Many European countries achieving nearly 95% of recycling of these C&D waste. Other developed countries, few of them are still struggling in this regard. Approximately 95% of waste, mainly construction or demolition waste, can be recycled. C&D waste should not be disposed as municipal solid waste and landfills. Construction and demolition waste consist of mainly concrete, bricks, timber, sanitary ware, glasses, steel, and plastic. Majority of are in concrete. What are the present scenario of construction and demolition? But it is not a present. I think nearly 8 years back, we have a data of 2012 released by the World Bank. The top 10 cities in India which generates the highest municipal solid waste. You can see we are, that is Delhi is at top. Greater Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Kanpur, Jaipur, Agra, and Indore. Even in 2012 only, in Delhi, 5,875 metric ton of total municipal solid waste is generated per day. Out of which nearly 35% are construction or demolition waste. So just you can see the generation of amount of construction or demolition waste, even if you consider Delhi itself. Once again, composition of construction and demolition waste in India, concrete is nearly 65%, brick and tiles is nearly 25%, wood 5%, metals 2%, others materials are 2%, and the plastic and other things are nearly 1%. Mainly it consists of concrete, bricks and tile as far as the construction and demolition waste are concerned. Reasons for increase of construction or demolition waste. As we know, the many old buildings, concrete pavements, bridges, and other structure have overcome their age and limit to use due to structural deterioration beyond repairs and need to be demolished after a certain period of service life of that particular structure or some infrastructure buildings. New construction for better economic growth. We are witnessing in even tier 2 cities a vertical growth of urbanization. There are many high-rise buildings are being constructed even tier 2 cities. Forget about the metro and big cities. The structure are turned into debris resulting from natural disasters like earthquakes, cyclones, and floods, etc. So these are the main reasons for increase of construction and demolition waste as far as in India is concerned. So far we can say we assume, we perceive this C&D waste as a waste only. We are not giving any value to it so far, but as I said, to save our environment, to curb the pollution level, we have to impart some value to it, that C&D waste, and try to convert this waste to the wealth. How we can do? So first of all, our approach, we have to approach toward this. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So waste to wealth. First of all, we have to change in our approach. We have to put this particular things in our approach, waste to wealth, and what should be the things which needs to be done immediately. That is through circular economy. What is this circular economy? Is reuse, recover, and recycle. That is 3R: reuse, recover, and recycle. Hierarchy of C&D waste management. First of all, at top, reduce. We have to put into that lowering the amount of waste produce. First, our approach is we have to minimize the waste produce. Then, if it is produced, then reuse. That is using materials repeatedly. Recycle, using materials to make new products. That is recycling of this C&D waste. Recovery, recovering energy from waste. Some of the waste we can produce energy from some of the waste. And last option, we should have a safe disposal of waste to landfill. But it should be last option, because I think unfortunately at present scenario, this is in the reverse way. That is, the landfill is at top, then reduce, reuse, recycle, and recovery. So we have to change our approach, and this should be hierarchy of C&D waste management to save our environment. As I said, the present fate of C&D waste is in our country. You can see the photographs lying on site, dumped in open, sent to landfills, and dumped into the riverbed. This is the present scenario. So C&D waste generation in India, gross underestimation. Still, we are not exactly estimate the what amount of C&D waste we are generating. So the Union Ministry of Forest and Environment has confessed there is no systematic database on C&D waste. We don't have exact database. What I can say, as per the estimates of Center for Science and Environment in 2005, India has newly constructed 5.75 billion square meter of additional floor space due to vertical growth of city, with almost 1 billion square meter in 2013 itself. Out of 5.75 billion of square meter of concrete, 1 billion square meter in 2013 itself. If according to Technology Information Forecasting Assessment Council, TAFEX thumb rule, a new construction generates nearly 40 to 60 kg of C&D waste per square meter. This is just an estimation. Then taking the average of 50 kg per square meter, India must have generated around 50 million tons of C&D waste in 2013 itself. Over the last 7 years, now we are in 2020, it would have produced nearly 287 to 300 million ton of this waste. So this estimate only accounts for the new construction. That particular data somehow we have managed only for the new construction. We don't have any specific data as far as the demolition, renovation, and repair level waste are concerned. So the waste produced per square meter of demolition is nearly 10 times that generated during the new constructions. You can see in demolition, it is 10 times more than C&D waste generated than the new construction. As per TAPEX, 300 to 500 kg of waste per square meter. If it is assumed that 5% of the existing building stock gets demolished, just you can see in every year, nearly 5% we are demolishing due to various reasons and rebuild completely annually. Then about 288 million more of C&D waste. 288 MT more of C&D waste would have been generated in 2013 alone because of demolitions. So TAPEC also says building repair produces 40 to 50 kg per square meter of waste. Assuming that 1/3 of existing building stock underwent some sort of repair or renovation in 13, India must have generated an average of 193 MT of C&D waste just from repair and the renovation in that year. So you can see the data. Just it is once again I repeat, it is just an estimation. We don't have any exact data so far. So thus the total C&D waste generated in India just by building in 1 year 2013 amounts to be homogeneous nearly 530 MT. That is 44 times higher than the official estimate. That's why I have mentioned in my previous slide that is government still believe that it is underestimated. Imagine the scenario if the waste generated by infrastructure, and that too is only related to building, whether it is residential, commercial. If you add into this an infrastructure project such as roads and dam is added, no surprisingly in India, if C&D waste is quantified, it will be more than all other types of solid waste put together. This is the scenario as far as the C&D waste is concerned. Where is all this C&D waste going? So far, a lot of it's being used by land sharks to illegally fill up the water bodies and wetlands around urban centers for real estate development. The rest is just being dumped into rivers and open spaces. Just I have shown in my previous slides. So no reuse. In India, construction agency like CPWD say the Indian laws permit the use of only naturally sourced building material. The IS 323/1970 Indian Standard Specification related to aggregate for concretes laid down by BIS stipulate that concrete can be made only with naturally assessed material. Construction agencies cite this rule to avoid using recycled C&D waste. This is the fact, but we have seen some improvement. It is some old data, but we have seen a little bit improvement in this regard. So C&D waste breakdown. So as I said, the new construction is contributed to nearly 8% of C&D waste, repair and renovation nearly 44%, at highest, that is demolition is 48%. Once again, the solid sand and gravel nearly 36%, brick and masonry 31%, concrete 23%, metals 5%, bitumen 2%, wood 2%, others are 1%, as per the TAPEX information. Assessment of C&D waste. As I said, 40 to 60 kg per square meter of new constructions. 40 to 50 kg per square meter of building repair, it is generated, and 300 to 500 kg per square meter for demolition of building, the highest one, nearly 10 times if you compare as per the either new construction or building repair. The following 5 categories of existing C&D waste quantification methodologies are reported. First of all, the site visit method, waste generation rate method, lifetime analysis method, classification system and accumulation method, and variables modeling method. These are the case which are and methodology are reported. Requirement of recycling of plants. What requirement we have to recycle this for new construction of building, government houses, housing for all in urban and housing for all even in rural areas, private housing, other infrastructure, renovation and demolition. For these practices, we required the C&D plants, recycling plants. So requirement of recycling plants for housing for all, that is in urban only. If you assume, we talked about the urban, assuming 50 kg C&D waste, assuming 50 kg of C&D waste per square meter for new construction, 20 million houses if you assume, area of each unit is 30 square meter. If you assume that operation per year is 300 per day, that one, if all the recycling plants operates at 300 in a year, capacity 500 tons per day. So we require nearly 200 numbers of recycling plants for this to meet out this purpose only. So number of houses to be constructed under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in Gramin area only, that is 30 million. So for this, we require nearly 300 plants. Smart cities, government construction, including local bodies, development authorities, and other infrastructure. So these are the numbers we require for recycling of our C&D waste. Private constructions. The Indian real estate market size is expected to reach nearly 180 billion by 2020. I don't know now it is correct or not. What will going to happen? I think no one can predict right now. So generation of C&D waste. So 10 to 15 million tons per year by, I think it is in year 2000, 2000 Ministry of Urban Development. The survey done by Ministry of Urban Development. Approximately 25 to 30 million tons, just double tons of C&D waste generated annually in India 2014. So after 14 years, this C&D waste generation just become double. So 170 to 200 plants of 500 tons per day capacity are required, assuming operating for 300 days a year, if this data is correct. Now it is estimated to be 165 to 175 million tons per year. I think in last year only, the survey done by BMTPC, at the Building Material Technical Promotion Council. So we require, thus if it is recent data, so we require a huge number of C&D waste recycling plant in our country. So what should be the C&D waste management? Hello? Yeah.
Please don't scribble on the screen.
So
Somebody is trying to disturb the ongoing presentation.
yeah.
Please don't scribble.
You can disable the annotation part for all the participants.
Yeah. So C&D waste management. So what are the management level? For first of all, as I said, prevention of use, for minimization of waste, for reuse of waste, and for recycling of waste. This is the four management means the process. And waste management hierarchy, once again, the prevention, that is minimization, that is we should reduce the C&D waste generation, minimization, reuse, recycling, energy recovery, and disposal. This should be management hierarchy. In management level also, this should be the hierarchy. Key requirement of waste management plan. What are the requirements? Types, quantities, and qualities of waste. We have to think about it. Measures of reducing waste generation, on-site waste sorting, on-site and off-site reuse, areas for waste storage, quantities of waste requiring off-site disposal, monitoring and auditing programs. So this should be our key requirement as far as the waste management plan is concerned. Main issues for construction, demolition, waste management. What are the problems we are facing? Even now it means so far and recently also, and presently also. Absence of segregation of waste sources. We don't have, even we take a sample size of Delhi only. You see, even go to Delhi and NCR, in any at even a good projection site, they are not saying absence of segregation of waste at sources. Lack of appropriately located recycling facilities, very few. Indifferent attitude of citizens towards waste management. Even the general citizens are not aware about it. Illegal practices performed by contractor to save money. Reasons for repair, renovation, or demolition. As I said in my previous slide also, once again, due to expiry of useful life of a structure, generation of waste, due to poor quality of original constructions, due to unauthorized poor quality construction and additions thereafter, we are more oftenly hearing the news in different corner of big cities that illegal construction in some unauthorized colony, and the municipal corporation of that particular city are most of the time demolishing that particular structure, but they don't have collected plan. So what they will do for that waste generation. Due to redevelopment of additional FSI floor space index, due to frequent renovations and construction by different agencies, due to poor coordination between them, so leading to creation of waste. As I said, a few years back, the extra floor space index revamped project in Island City. I think this is also a main reason of huge number of C&D waste generation. So once again, this is the culture of wastage so far we are adopting and we are witnessing. Some glimpse of photographs which tells the clear-cut story. This is some glimpses of this. So, but this is the bad fate. So what should we do now further? Let us stop creating C&D waste to save natural resources by adopting quality concept in construction and maintenance. Not only in even in new construction, even in maintenance and even at the time of demolition or restructuring of any kind of a structure. So in this only we can save our environment. We can save our environment. So the demand for aggregates in 2007 has seen an increase by 5% to over 21 billion tons. The largest being in developing countries, for example, India only. A study by Asian Institute of Technology, AIT, Thailand, for some Asian countries, including India, report released in May 2008. So nearly 21 billion tons of that aggregate we required. To reuse, reconstruction means a planned selective demolition. Of course, we have some sort of planning as far as the new construction is concerned, but unfortunately, we don't have any plan for demolition in which salvage, reuse, and recycling of the demolished structure is maximized. So C&D waste management rules. Fortunately, now, as I have said, we have seen some improvement in this regard. Just a minute. रहने दो, कोई बात नहीं, रहने दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। चलो, yeah. So ये क्या आ गया? Sorry. So C&D waste management rules. Akash. चलो. So C&D producing organizations. So this few improvement we have seen. So C&D waste producing organizations, C&D waste generators, and C&D waste bulk generators. Yeah. Waste generator who generate 20 tons or more in one day or 300 tons per project in a month are classified as bulk C&D waste generators. Therefore, greater responsibility is on bulk C&D generators. Further, they are required to segregate the waste into 4 categories such as concrete, soil, steel, wood, plastic, and bricks and mortar. आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा, क्या कर देते हो? Yeah. So, but the government has taken the initiative. So, Ministry of Urban Development had a circular dated 28 June 2012, stated all states to set up C&D waste recycling processing facilities in all cities with population of over 1 million. This is the Government of India initiative. Guidelines on recycling and reuse of C&D waste by CPWD March 2014. Guidelines of utilization of C&D waste in construction of dwelling units and other infrastructure in housing schemes of government that by BMTPC in 2016. C&D waste management rule 2016 of Ministry of Environment and Forest and notified on 29 March 2016. Guidelines of environment management of C&D waste by Central Pollution Control Board in 2017. These are the government initiatives so far have been taken. Another is aim of Swachh Bharat Mission. 100% solid waste, including C&D waste, is to be processed under the Swachh Bharat Mission by 2nd October 2019. These are the some initiatives which we as a our Indian government has taken so far. C&D waste management rules apply to every waste resulting from construction, remodeling, repair, and demolition of any civil structure of individual, organizations, and authority who generate C&D waste. These rules are applicable to all. So, construction of new building, once again, these rules are applicable for this kind of construction activities. Construction of new buildings, renovation of existing buildings, demolition of existing old dilapidated structure, excavation, reconstructions of concrete road, construction of new flyover, bridges, under bridge, subway, etc., renovation, installation of new water, telephone, internet, sewer pipes, lines, etc. These are the rules of government. Even the CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, the guidelines recommends pollution mitigation measures in operation of C&D dump site waste processing facilities, mainly for bulk generators. CPCB guidelines are mainly applicable to bulk generators. As I said in my previous slide, the differences between the C&D waste generators and the bulk generators. So in these rules, the segregation by bulk C&D waste generation shall be done into 4 streams such as concrete, soil, steel, wood and plastic, brick and mortar. What are the duties of local authorities? Management of C&D waste generated, including processing facility and for using the recycled products in the best possible manner. Awareness and dissemination of knowledge. Incentive for use of material made out of C&D, just including in non-structural concrete, paving blocks, lower layers of road pavements, colony and rural roads. Another rule 11 under duties of BIS and IRC, Indian Road Congress. The BIS and IRC, Indian Road Congress, shall be responsible for preparation of code for practices and standards for use of recycled materials and products of construction or demolition waste in respect of construction activities. Of course, these government two bodies, that is BIS and IRC, has given the responsibility to lay some guidelines and some sort of code also to use the C&D waste in plain or RCC. So IS 383 2016, what it says, Indian Standard Coarse and Fine Aggregate for Concrete, a specification, 3rd revision. The standard covers the requirement for aggregates, crushed or uncrushed, derived from natural sources such as river, terraces and riverbeds, glacial deposits, rocks, boulders and gravels, and manufactured aggregate produced. I have underlined it in red color. These manufactured aggregate produce are nothing but the recycled aggregate, whether it is fine or coarse, from other than natural sources for use in production of concrete for normal structural purpose, including mass concrete works. So these manufactured aggregate are of two types, namely, first of all, RA, that is recycled aggregate. It is made from C&D waste, which may comprise concrete, bricks, tiles, and stone. Recycled concrete aggregate, RCA, it is derived from concrete after requisite processing. So IS 383 in 2016 says, was revised, permitting use of recycled aggregate up to 25% in plain concrete. Initially, there was no clear-cut guidelines, so even government bodies, even private construction bodies are very reluctant to use the recycled coarse aggregate. Now, but as per IS 3, in absence of IS code, so with the help of these IS guideline, what they permit to 25% in plain concrete, 20% in reinforced concrete up to M25 for lower grade, and up to 100% in lean concretes of grade less than M15. Even in highways, we can use 100% of C&D waste. Roadmap of C&D waste management. Population of cities under C&D waste management rules 2016. The targets for commissioning of C&D processing facilities are based on population as given below. Once again, it is the government initiative. Management rule 2016. So the target for commissioning of C&D processing facilities are based on population as given below. Cities with population of 1 million and above, it is mandatory. Then cities with population of 0.5 to 1 million, once again mandatory, and cities with population of less than quintillions. So as per the government rules in 2016, they have made it mandatory to set up a recycling of C&D plant on the population basis in even tier 1 and tier 2 cities. What are the CPWD, which is a main authority as per the Indian government is concerned? So CPWD and National Building Company NBCC have recommended the use of recycled portion of C&D waste in their construction activities, or if the same is available within 100 kilometers per construction site. This is a big milestone as far as the uses of C&D waste in India is concerned. So CPWD and NBCC have adopted these guidelines, and even they are using the C&D waste available within 100 kilometers per their construction sites also. Another milestone which what we have done so far, MOU between CPWD and SINTEF of Norway. MOU has signed on 2016, and is this in the institutional and technical assistance program, the treatment and utilization of construction and demolition waste in India, for institutional cooperation of capacity building and technical support. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Norway has entered into an agreement in 16 allocating a grant to be used exclusively to finance the program during 17 to 21. The goal of the program is to increase the utilization level of recovered C&D waste in the building and construction sector in India by increasing the treatment and recycling capacity. Even IIT Delhi and CVR Roorkee are also playing very key role as far as the C&D waste generation utilization is concerned. So purpose, to provide access to CPWD and the urban local bodies. This is very important, because government alone cannot do anything unless and until the urban local bodies and general publics will not come in this noble cause. So to provide access to CPWD and urban local bodies in the implementation of safe and sound treatment and utilization of C&D waste in the construction and civil engineering sector. Target groups are Target groups are CPWD under the Ministry of Urban Development, urban local bodies and other relevant institutions, and academia on the one side, and industry and waste management company on the other side, to prepare the guidelines and regulatory framework and provide input to BIS and IRC. Even BIS and IRC are means revising their codes. Lot of amendments has already been done, and it may be done further also, as per the data they received time from these CPWD and other construction agency, which include the urban local bodies as well. Capacity building, training, and information dissemination. In this way, IIT Delhi and CVR Roorkee and other institutions are playing very important role. And I think JC Bose University of Science Technology, I urge Agrawal Sahab and other management of JC Bose University, they also play impart their very valuable input in this regard. I think our city, that Faridabad, is also most polluting cities in India. So India first plant that recycles construction waste. In collaboration with Municipal Corporation of Delhi, ILNFS in 2010 only, has developed a pilot project to demonstrate the potential benefits of increasing the recycling rates for C&D waste in Delhi during the Commonwealth Games, I think in near Burari. That was the first recycling plant established in India. The project itself has been set up on a PPP mode, which has proved successful as it serves the dual purpose of saving landfill space on the one hand and also developing the market for C&D recyclables. This project details the facility is located in Burari. 500 tons per day C&D waste from these range area like Karol Bagh, Sadar, Paharganj city. The C&D waste is recycled into aggregates at the waste management facility and in turn converted to RMC, pavement blocks, curved stones, and concrete bricks. There are a lot of tiles and curved stone were manufactured and used during the Commonwealth Games in Delhi, from manufactured in this Burari recycled plant. Recycling capacity in India so far. Recycling plant at Burari, Delhi, having capacity of 500 metric ton per day capacity. The company collects some 500 tons per day of C&D waste from 3 designated zones in Delhi, that is Karol Bagh, Sadar, Paharganj, and city. Second plant is established in East Delhi near Sastri Park under East Delhi Municipal Corporation. 3 plants are proposed in Bangalore, each having capacity of nearly 75 tons per day. A plant has been set up in Ahmedabad as well. Gurgaon Municipal Corporation near Delhi is planning a C&D waste recycling plant on 5 acres of land. Many more plants are planned in various cities, and in near future, C&D waste recycling plants may be operating in every major city. What we can aspire to be. Incentives. This is very key role as per the make awareness or increase the C&D waste utilization. As per the advisory of Delhi government, all Delhi government agencies will be required to incorporate a clause in their tenders, even tender itself, for mandatory use of a minimum of 2% recycled products from C&D waste in all future contracts for building works, and 10% recycled products for road works. 2% in building and 10% in the road works. That is not too small, it is good enough. Other incentive like availability of land for setting up the plant, charging tipping fee and processing fee by the companies who install the plants may also be agreed upon by the government and urban local bodies. Other governments are also going to issue similar guidelines. MCGM, that the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, has already taken action to set up a operative 1,000 ton per day construction and demolition waste processing recycling facility in Mumbai. So, just I'm going to show a video of India's first recycling plant, which was installed in northern Delhi near Burari in Delhi.
As Delhi grows, infrastructure projects like construction of roads, flyovers and metro routes generate large quantities of construction and demolition or C&D waste. The city of Delhi itself generates 4,000 to 5,000 tons per day of C&D waste. The unsegregated municipal waste, often mixed with C&D waste, gets dumped finally at the various dump sites of the city's low-lying land, for a price in public land or along roads, ridge areas, or riverbanks in an unauthorized manner. Combined with the burning of waste and road dust, C&D waste contributes to over 20% of Delhi's alarming air pollution levels. In this context, an initiative by North Delhi Municipal Corporation with ILNFS Environment is a ray of hope shining through the blinding construction debris in the nation's capital. This unique project at Burari Jahangirpuri is based on a public-private partnership framework.
हम लोगों ने ILFS के साथ में C&D प्लांट को PPP मोड के ऊपर इसको एज ए पायलट प्रोजेक्ट हमने चालू किया है। जो टाइल्स बनती हैं, मैनुअल कवर बनती हैं, पेवर टाइल्स बनती हैं, MCD इस प्रोजेक्ट को काफ़ी सक्सेसफुल मान रही है। मलबा जो MCD का ही आ रहा है वो हमारे यमुना में ना जाके, वो हमारे नालों में ना जाके, वो हमारे मैन होल सीवर लाइन में ना जाके, वो हमारा एक मटेरियल को हम रिसाइकलिंग कर रहे हैं, रीयूज कर रहे हैं, और ये इन्वायरमेंटल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ये बहुत ही फायदेमंद है।
It is India's first large-scale operational C&D recycling facility. The plant is compliant with MSW 2000 rules and was originally set up to manage 500 TPD or tons per day of C&D waste. Recognizing the pollution abatement capability of the facility, Delhi Pollution Control Committee enhanced the project's capacity to 2000 TPD. The technology for the plant was adapted to suit the C&D waste generated in India. The wet processing technology was incorporated at the Burari plant to minimize dust as well as noise pollution. The facility gets mixed C&D waste from designated points in 3 zones of North Corporation: Karol Bagh, Sadar Paharganj and City. The waste is crushed, washed and recycled into aggregates, which in turn are converted to ready-mix concrete or RMC, cement bricks, hollow bricks, pavement blocks, curbstones, concrete bricks and manufactured sand.
मैं अपने कंपनी के लिए एग्रीगेट, डस्ट, टाइल्स वगैरह परचेज करता हूँ. हम बिल्डर्स के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा एक ऑप्शन मिला हुआ है.
The facility uses recycled water for processing waste. The plant is able to recover and recycle about 95% of incoming C&D waste. The facility has ISO 9001, 14001, 18001 and SA 8000, that is Social Accountability certifications.
अब तक करीब 17 लाख मेट्रिक टन मलबा प्रोसेस हो चुका है. इस प्रोसेसिंग के में करीब 95% रीयूजेबल मटेरियल प्राप्त होता है, 5% जो है सो डिस्पोजल हो जाता है.
Using a recycled aggregate in this process reduces the consumption of fresh stones and sand, thus conserving our natural resources and helping in reducing sand mining. The plant reduces the burden on landfill or dumping sites of the city and saves precious urban land. The Burari C&D Waste Management Facility also provides employment opportunities to local North Delhi residents. With a steep rise in air pollution-related health problems and judicial interventions, urban local bodies face enormous pressure. In light of these problems, it is vital to have replicable models like this successful C&D waste management project at Burari. The C&D recycling project, being the first of its kind in the country, requires support for usage of recycled green C&D products. The pioneering plant at Burari has earned many accolades from national and international environmentalists. This endeavour of IL&FS Environment has been appreciated by the Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India. The Ministry of Urban Development has asked all states to look into the possibility of installing such facilities in cities having a population above 10 lakh people. The project has provided a paradigm shift from illegal dumping to scientific processing and recycling of C&D waste.
So this is a video of India's first recycling unit located in Delhi. So different grades of finished of recycled products, you can say aggregate of 10 mm size, aggregate of 20 mm size, aggregate or 40 mm size, recycled sand, which is usable in any type of concrete. So what are the global best practices? So the way in the UK, the Northern Ireland Environment Agency has published the quality protocol for production of aggregates from inert waste in 2004. This has helped promote use of recycled and secondary aggregate. Almost 280 MT of aggregates are used every year, which is 28% of total C&D waste generated over there. Singapore, once again another land constant country, recycle almost 98% of C&D waste. So in Japan as well, they are recycling their almost 100%. We can say up to 100% of their C&D waste. In the US also, New York has extreme features of C&D waste as it is landlocked and has limited scope for disposal. Its disposal practices are more efficient than the rest of the US. It forces the developers to segregate waste at site. I think this particular process to utilization of C&D waste is very, very important to segregate the waste at site itself. Then only we can achieve the highest number of C&D waste recycling, dismantle and not demolish, in addition to other measures. So this is the stadium view. A stadium in Brazil where 2011 Olympics were held is made up to 70% of recycled building materials. You can say good quality photographs of it. So in future, C&D waste is going to be treated as a resources material. We all have to think over it, not only civil engineers, not only government agencies. I think even all citizens of India, those who want to make our country livable, those who want to make our country less susceptible to these type of many number of deaths due to pollution. So we all have to think about C&D waste is going to be treated as a resources material, not as a waste. So this is all about my presentation about the utilization of CND waste and conversion of waste into the wealth. Some photographs I have taken from various sites, and my mail ID is, I think I have mentioned in ratan.jha@jkcement.com. Those who want to reach me or ask some question even right now itself, or maybe later, they may ask some questions and I will be happy to reply it. So,
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah. So may I do one thing? I have to show nearly 6 to 7 minutes duration of my corporate movie. So just I want to show it. Then we'll take all the questions. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Just 6-7 minutes सर वो क्योंकि continuation में हो जाएगा. Then we'll take the photograph. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. यहाँ से जाएगा.
What does the future look like for India? It's not just about bigger buildings and better roads. It's about fulfilling the needs and aspirations of 1.25 billion people. Greater investments in infrastructure create growth opportunities for everyone across the country, from the cities to its deepest corners. The cement industry plays a pivotal role in fulfilling India's growing multi-sector infrastructure demands. That's why at JK Cement, we have crafted our strategies with vision and executed them on a scale that defies imagination. From our mines to our factories, resources and operations are streamlined with the help of cutting-edge technology to address India's rapidly growing cement needs. We are preparing for tomorrow by thinking ahead, identifying needs and building a future-ready business.
We believe that market share follows thought leadership. Therefore, we have always placed significant premium on thought leadership and challenging convention.
Backed by the strength of the JK organization, we have grown from a single cement factory in Rajasthan 4 decades ago to over 8 high-tech plants producing grey cement, white cement and multiple specialized building products. We are amongst India's largest cement manufacturers with a capacity of 10.5 million tons of grey cement and 1.2 million tons of white cement, employing over 2,800 people across 46 offices. Our portfolio also includes diverse specialized building materials, including wall putty and value-added products such as Primax, Supergrip and waterproofing compounds.
We've consistently expanded our capacities, market presence and product profile. Our focus is on creating value for all our stakeholders.
With high-impact marketing and advertising, JK Cement's brands enjoy strong recall in the minds of consumers and retailers alike. Our brand's visibility and goodwill is a key driver of our business. Our grey cement has strong penetration in the large Indian market, primarily in the north and south of the country. Our white cement business is a strong differentiator, being not only a national brand with a pan-India footprint, but also an international presence. We export white cement to several countries in Asia, South America, Australia and Africa. To cater to the global demand, we have also set up a white cement plant in Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates.
The Fujairah plant gives us a strong competitive advantage by opening out new and attractive markets internationally and putting us in a global leadership position.
We have implemented some of the most sophisticated technologies and control systems to ensure our cement is of the highest standards. But our true strength comes from our people. We find, nurture and retain the best talent, and they give us the courage to push frontiers. We are equally focused on working with communities around us to help create a meaningful difference in their lives.
As a cement manufacturer, we have a direct role in nation building. Nation building cannot happen without proper education.
From building facilities that offer top quality modern education to enabling access to vocational training, we are driving skill-based employment and helping empower women. We have also partnered with government bodies and NGOs to provide healthcare to both children and adults. Our business is constantly guided by responsible growth, which means creating a safe and sustainable foundation for a better tomorrow. We have relentlessly enhanced the use of alternate fuels in our manufacturing process. Being a part of an industry that consumes large quantities of water and energy, we have taken several measures towards water recirculation, increasing water efficiency and rainwater harvesting. We are amongst the first companies in India to have captive power generation facilities running on both thermal and waste heat recovery technology. We are consistently investing in capacities and higher efficiencies to become a major contributor to the Make in India campaign.
With over 10 million tons of capacity in grey cement and nearly 50% market share in white cement and wall putty, we are on a strong wicket. We will deliver superior value to our shareholders and keep expanding.
We are confident of growing our grey cement capacity by 30% and our value-added products by 50% in the near term. JK Cement is at the vanguard of India's cement industry, and we are helping build a robust foundation for a newer, safer and stronger India.
Yeah. So this is our corporate movie. Akash, इसको हटाओ. Failure. Screen failure. So this is all about my presentation, which includes our corporate movie as well. So now participants may ask your question if you have any.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am a postgraduate from mechanical stream.
Yeah.
I have a one question that, sir, besides CN
Your name,
waste
please.
management.
What is your name, please?
Sir, Ajay Singh, sir.
Mr. Ajay Singh. Yeah.
Ji. Sir, I have a one question that besides CN waste management techniques, is there any new innovative thing in your firm which depends upon 3 R's? What you have stated in your slide in manufacturing unit or in packaging systems like you are using in your firm, because as a mechanical engineer I'm mostly concerned about the units, manufacturing system, and what are the packaging you are doing it, which based on 3 R's, because you have explained it as a recycle, reuse and one thing was 3 R's dependent on
recover.
that.
Recycle.
Recover. So the CN waste techniques is according to me is related to the output we are giving it. I want to know the innovative thing which is going in your firm in the manufacturing units.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to
yeah. Okay, Ajay, very valid questions. As per my topic is concerned that it is related to construction and demolition waste. Of course, we are a cement manufacturing company, and since we are not directly related to the construction activities, but we are doing some out of 3 R, 2 R we are doing. That is, or you can say that all the 3 R we are doing, that is recycling, recover and reuse. What we are doing, I think, as far as you know, I think you might be knowing the fact that in cement manufacturing, the loss of fuel cost is involved, loss of energy we require, because the temperature of kiln is nearly 1400 degrees centigrade to 1500 centigrade. And nowadays that a modern sophisticated plant is there. So that is up to 5 stage, 6 stage preheater are there. That means the temperature will go up by gradually. That is from 35 degrees centigrade to 150 degrees centigrade, then 500 degrees, then 800 degrees, then 14 or 1500 degrees centigrade. At the end of the clinkerization, what we are doing, we are quenching the clinker. Quenching of clinker means just we are keeping temperature of our that is clinker to come down. So temperature up to temperature from 1400 degrees centigrade to bring at the level of 35 or at the environmental level. So we are reutilizing this particular energy in our preheater case. So in this case, you can say we are reusing and reusing and recovering. Unfortunately, that is recycling of product in cement manufacturing units. Since we are not destroying anything, we don't have any extract, because since we are not constructing, so we don't have any deposits of construction demolition waste. So but in manufacturing unit, we are recovering energy from the temperature difference. Hello.
Sir, is your, hello.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
using some eco-friendly chemicals also, sir, for during the manufacturing.
Yeah, see, you see that eco-friendly chemical, you can say, I think it is a whole part of cement manufacturing. I think the exact, those who are involved in directly manufacturing, they may answer in better way, but we are adopting all the measures which curb the emission of CO2. I think you also might be knowing, or you must know, the cement, fertilizer, even coal palmer are assumed to be the most polluting industry. That is the reason I think you cannot see any cement manufacturing units within the periphery of any cities. It is far away from the cities. In manufacturing of nearly 1 metric ton of clinker, nearly 900 kg of CO2 gas is emitted to the environment. So we are adopting every guidelines, we are adopting every technology which curb the emission of CO2 emission, which ultimately affect the climate.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Sir, I am ML Agrawal from JC Bose University.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any recycle plant?
No, sir, we don't have, because as I said, we are manufacturing cement, that is fresh one. So, so we don't have recycle plant. I think this should be installed by the municipal bodies or the urban local bodies, which are directly or indirectly involved in construction and demolition. That is the reason in Delhi, MCD, with the help of at the PPP model, with the essence of IL and FS, have installed first plant in Delhi in the year 2010. So we don't have, sir, plant, but in Delhi, I think 2 or 3 plants are there. Even in Gurgaon, I think they have started recycling. Hello. अगर साहब
हाँ जी सर
जी, आपने सुना मुझे?
हाँ
जी जी,
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, आपने बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर दिया.
थैंक यू सर.
So on the behalf of JC Bose University, we are really thankful to Sri R.K. Jha from JK Cement Limited for giving very informative lecture. So I personally listened it very patiently. It was very informative, very interesting. And 2 videos were also very interesting. One was from the company itself, that is JK Cement. And we find the JK Cement products, they are branded product in the market. That's why, because of the hard work of the people working in the JK Cement. So I again thank you JK Cement and Sri R.K. Jha for his very valuable lecture. And in future also we will invite for such events. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think on 6th, I think myself or Akash will give presentation. Just I will take this privilege to, on 6th, I will explain about all the existing products which we are manufacturing. That are a few products we have recently launched that is very, very innovative, and they play very key role as far as the construction industries are concerned. Only the tile adhesive of different variants, that is type 1 and type 2, because nowadays I think in all the dwelling or residential commercial house, even flooring and wall, they are using the different kinds of tiles, but still they are adopting the old method of laying. So we have launched a tile adhesive, then cement based primer, unique kind of stucco, that is level max, that is a ready-made plastering material of white cement based. So on 6th of this month, if time permits, we'll deliberate about our all the existing products.
Right, sir. Again on 6th we will meet, sir.
Yeah. So okay, thank you, sir. So once again on my personal behalf and on behalf of my company JK Cement Limited, I thanks all the organizers, Agrawal साहब in particular. I think उनका एक बड़ी कृपा पात्र मतलब कृपा रही हमारे ऊपर कि वो जब भी कोई ऐसा इनोवेटिव प्रोग्राम होता है he used to invite me, और मैं बड़ी खुशीपूर्वक आपके बीच आता हूँ. और जैसे मैंने अपने स्लाइड में I have mentioned my mail ID. If you have any queries, even I will be happy to answer. If I may not answer your question, I promise that I will arrange answer for you. Thanks all. Thanks to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Now we will end the morning session, and now we will meet in the evening session, the details of which will be shared in the group.